Hey, good evening, and welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message to help you to awaken. So, tonight we're doing the December 2022 forecast, including messages from Spirit, messages from the Master Teacher, and including a little bit of numerology and astrology as part of that. Let me turn the pings off. And yeah, and I have my glasses on, so you know that I mean business, or either that or means that I'm freaking blind and I can't see my notes. But anyway, I've got my glasses on, and thank you. So we're going to dive into this in just a minute. It often takes a few minutes for people to get their notifications. That's for the live people. If you're watching this as a video, just hang in there for a minute or two. We're going to dive right on in. So one of the things that I want to mention is December is a super active month energetically. We've been talking about this for a good 2 years, I think, this month. Here it is. December is also a 369 month. I'm going to explain the significance of that. Any Nikola Tesla fans, you know where we're going with this. This is our time. So that's basically that. So few little quick hellos, and we're going to dive right on in. So hi, Andrea, welcome. And Teresa and Brooke is in, Laura and Susan and Kaylee's in. So people are slowly getting their notifications. So anyway, I hope that you're having a really good, good day. Oh, and somebody from Australia. And hi, Lola. Hi, Clarinda. Even with my glass, I've got to squint. That's this is not good. Actually, it's all good. Welcome from Australia. So it's actually tomorrow. It's gosh, what is today? I'm like losing track. So it's actually the 30th already, right? So if today sucks, for you guys in Australia, let us know here, in the U.S. Because if tomorrow's no good, I'm just gonna stay in bed all day. So, all right. Anyways, bad joke. I know. All right. I see a few people are starting to find us. They're starting to come in. So very good. So I hope everybody's well, and yeah, if you guys are new and you want to say hi, let us know where in the world you're tuning in from. If you have any comments, I'll keep half an eye on my comments if I can see them. So oh, I will. So far, so good. All right, so it's safe for those of us in the States to wake up tomorrow. um, thank you, Laura. All right, so I think it's diving in time. No time like the presence, right? So 369 month. That's the Tesla code, and I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something to the effect of, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, you would have the keys that unlocks the universe. I'm going to try to explain that a little bit because it's a 369 month. That can only happen in certain years and certain months. Now, why is that true? Because it's December. December is a 12. In numerology, 12 reduces to 3. So there's your 3. 2022 is a 6-year. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, that equals 6. So, and where do we get the 9? Well, if you add 3 and 6, you get 9. So in numerology, this is a universal 9 month. Universal 9 months are ruled by the planet Mars. Mars is in retrograde. We've got a lot to talk about, and I'm going to try to do this all in a half hour. Wish me luck. I've got 17 points to talk about, 17 predictions or bits of information that Spirit has shed. Well, let me explain this. So 9 completes the cycles. I'm going to be looking down a lot of my notes just to let you know. So I might as well read my notes. I wrote them out for a reason, right? 369 is the numeric code of how energy and consciousness combine to create matter. So this is, I do research. I read a little bit about this, but this is what Spirit was actually telling me also. And this is how energy and consciousness combine to create matter. Now, part of the mystery is the circle. And 369 represents the living circle with no circumference, All circles have 360 degrees. That's a 9, right? Half a circle is 180 degrees. A quarter circle is 90 degrees. These are all 9 numerology. If you get an eighth of a circle, that's 45 degrees. If you get a 16th of a circle, that's 22.5 degrees. These all add up to 9. 9 is 3 squared. 6 is 3 plus 3. So circles are the key. They're kind of the key building block of all sacred geometry. And within all circles contains an infinite number of triangles. Now, in a sphere, we're only talking 2 dimensions. If we go out to multiple dimensions within the sphere, then it has the pyramids. It has multiple pyramids. And you go to the next dimension, and it's multiple Merkabahs. So the circle and the 369 energy forms the very fabric of our physical reality through combining the principles of energy and consciousness. I need water already. So let me see. What else did I write down here? Going back to the notes. So circles are the key to all sacred geometry, and all circles contain infinite number of triangles, which are the infinite that's what I missed. Those infinite triangles within the circle represent the infinite possibilities within the quantum field. So we tap a little bit into quantum theory with this, but the quantum field and spirit to me are synonymous. And it's that realm where all possibilities already exist, all time already exists. So it's the unmanifest unified field, and it's an energy. So when consciousness acts with that energy, it creates a physical result or an energetic result that becomes physical. All right. I think we get that, right? Do we get that? Hi from Orlando, Karen. My personal year is a 9-year. Okay, I'm currently in a 3-year right now, in a 12 3-year in numerology. So we're there. Hi from Jamestown. I'm looking forward to going back to Lilydale next summer, which is 20 miles from Jamestown. And hi, Soul Family. So hi. Mulbear. I forgot what your name is. Oh, is it Jill? I'm sorry, I forgot what your name is, but I just figured I'd just say we have some troopers here that stay up past midnight. Now, if you're wondering why I started this at 7:30 instead of 7, it's because my astrological thinking did not want to start this during a void of course moon. We've been in a very long void of course moon. The moon kind of loses its identity when it passes through the last major aspect of a given sign. So at 7:15, the moon came out of void of course and came into the sign of Pisces. So anyway, that's why we started a little late. So anyway, so what does it all mean with the 369? 369 is the underlying code of all manifestations. So December becomes a supercharged manifestation month. Now, before I go further with that, 9 is also completes a cycle. We're in a 9-month, numerologically. So there's completion, but there's also super energy for manifestation. This is the time to set your vibration and frequency, because if you're able to do this month, you're going to get that boost from the universe in order for your manifestation to have more power to manifest into physical reality. So anyhow, page 2, we're getting there. So key astrology. I'll do this quickly again. I miss Sharita. She's been busy with her own stuff, so I'm not sure when we're going to be able to get her back. But if you want to get some detailed astrology for December or week by week, and I'll pin this in the comments when this becomes a video. Armand Diaz, who's a friend and colleague of mine, has a channel called Integral Astrology, and he's very, very good at it. Now we're just going to touch on a few of the major things here. So on the 1st of the month, what happens on the 1st of the month? That's Thursday. Venus and Mars oppose. Venus in Sagittarius, Mars in Gemini. Now Mars is also retrograde, keep in mind. And when we're in a 9-month, because Mars is the rulership of number 9, that means that Mars carries extra weight this month. So whatever Mars is doing in your natal chart, pay attention to that, because that can give you some clues as to what to do and what to avoid, actually. So Venus, which is really, tend to be, it's a love, but it's also money and security, and Mars is energy and power. When it's retrograde, that goes inward. So it's good for inner work when Mars is in retrograde, because the energy goes inward. So there could be some key changes with this opposition leading into the month of December. Could see some key changes in both the financial markets as well as the governments. Now we're seeing changes ongoing, and it's, this could be really when it starts to explode, when the tower really falls on this house of cards society that's been built up. And I'll explain why that may be in a second. So also Mercury Neptune square. So there's a lot going on the first here. And so that could be overturning of decisions that are going to happen. Keep an eye on these voter fraud cases, or these things. Most people don't think it's real. Some people are all in and really believe it. I think some more truth is going to come out. I'm not going to say which side I'm on with this, because it's just not, it doesn't matter. I'll just put it that way. It doesn't matter. But the point being is that no matter what, there's a lot beneath the surface. And frankly, just about every election since around 2000, probably earlier, that there's been some evidence of some fraud or whatever. But these things may come up just, based on what's happening on the first. What else? Moon is in Pisces with lots of squares. So lots of lunar squares also. So a lot of tension leading into this month. Now that's Thursday, that's in 2 days. So lots of potential clashes. Stay in your own lane, especially on the first, but that's a good rule of thumb for the entire month. Stay in your power, stay in your own lane, basically. So that's good. Now the full moon happens on the 7th. Now that's at 16 degrees Cancer. That's the third 16-degree full moon in succession. In numerology, 16 is the shattered citadel. That's the symbol in Chaldean numerology. And in the tarot, it's the tower card. So with all the 16 energy, it's kind of chipping away at the foundation, which is a weak foundation, because the society is not built on the foundation of compassion and democracy and love. It's built on the foundation of greed and power over others, rather than granting power to the people. So all this is starting to, get chipped away. We've been seeing it the last couple of years. Good. December could be a turning point. Keep that in mind. Gosh, I'm thirsty today. Also on the 3rd, I'm jumping back, but Neptune goes stationed direct on the 3rd. So Neptune is very spiritual energy. So we're going to get the benefit of, when planets station, they're very powerful. So we're going to get a nice spiritual influx. But the flip side is it can lead to illusions and delusion. Be discerning on who you listen to and who you believe. On the 23rd, the new moon is at 1 degrees Capricorn, squaring Jupiter 0 degrees Aries. So 0 is going to move from Pisces, which takes that Jupiterian energy into more of like a faith and belief vibration. And then it starts to flip into Aries, which is fire. It's very action oriented. So this is, for us, this could be a really good month for or the beginning of a cycle that's very good for our own energy. Jupiter expands. Jupiter's a wonderful energy. It can expand consciousness. It can also expand abundance and prosperity. And the next Mercury retrograde, that starts on the 29th. And Mars is already retrograde. So the focus shifts from expansion in consciousness to expansion of action. That's what I wrote down about the Jupiter transit here. And as I was writing this, they were just saying to beware of possible cyber attacks over Christmas, especially around the banks and stuff like that. I mean, I think at this time, it may not be a bad idea to I mean, who knows if credit unions are safer than banks? I think that they are, but it may be time to really look at safeguarding your money. All right, moving right along. 15 things to talk about here. Number one, I started to talk about. So these are basically the prediction. They're always choice centered. Time is fluid. As we evolve in consciousness, we can change some of the outcomes. There's no doom and gloom here, but there's no sugarcoating either. So we want to be realistic. We want to let you know what's going on, but we also want to let you know that it's consciousness, it's fluid. And it starts with you and me. As if we raise our consciousness, that helps send a wave out that helps others raise their consciousness. If 1 million people do this, that could start this whole cascading effect where we reach that 100th monkey, and even the politicians start to say, wow, we're really messing up here. We need to start to find some compassion in rulerships, right? So this 369 month, great for manifestation. Don't miss out on this cosmic opportunity. So, anytime, but when the 11th day of the moon, I'm going to figure that out. The 11th day of the moon is also a very powerful point of manifestation. And that is, bear with me a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's the third. And that's when Neptune goes direct. So that's the 11th day of the moon. What happens, according to the yogis, and I experienced this, is the 11th day of the moon is when our systems start to reset, our glandular systems, our nervous systems, for the higher full moon energies that start to come in. Roughly, that's when the moon and sun trine, and the moon goes into its gibbous phase on the 11th day. All right, anyway, that's number one. Don't miss out on this cosmic opportunity. What are we not going to miss out on? Thank you. Number 2, watch the COVID uprisings in China. A lot of you have seen this. The people are protesting. Now, before I go on, there's been massive protests all around the world, from the farmers, from the we'll say misappropriation of, is that the right word, misappropriation or misrepresentation of climate change, and using that to fulfill an agenda rather than solve the problem. And part of the problem with the farmers is that they're just getting outsourced, and family farms are turning to corporate farm. Corporate farming sucks, just to put that out there. We don't want that. And it's all part of the grand plan to centralize things, centralized government, centralized power. Now, China is one of the most oppressed countries on the planet, right? And we're starting to see people protesting. This is showing me that the fabric of this whole system of control in the world is just starting to develop more and more terror. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. It's all breaking down. Number 3, this is something I've been talking a lot about, but especially recently, is watch for some updates on and I hate to bring this up because it's so heartbreaking, but the child trafficking problem that's, I mean, it's probably been longer, but people have been aware of this since the 60s, and more people that were actually victims of the child sex trafficking industry are coming out and speaking up more. So this is happening. It just feels like December, something's going to just blow open. December or January. I'll broaden this over the next 2 to 3 months. I think that some names are going to be named. I think some specifics are going to be named. I just don't think this can be suppressed too much longer. We're seeing signs of that already. Lots of prayers, keep opening your heart, keep praying for the children. I mean, they're innocent and they get abused by all what's going on. There's definitely something very, very nefarious behind that. I mean, how could there not be? But it could, trend into things like black magic, Satanism, world domination, all that stuff. We'll find out. I don't want to say anything for sure that I'm not 100% sure, but it certainly feels like that to me, and the evidence is very plausible for that. So that's number 3. Number 4, there's strong partnership energy. So some of you may be falling in love. Hello. But more than that, choose partnerships and alliances carefully. Now, let me write down what I wrote. We must let go and heal. We must know which side of the divide we are on, because what's happening during this whole Mars transit in Gemini, the sign of duality, and it's retrograde in Gemini currently, we're finding more and more of a split in society, the split being those that want to follow their spiritual path and want to work with the heart, want to work with consciousness, versus those that really want to interface with the technology and buy into all the programming. no knock on technology. It's a beautiful thing, but it needs to be integrated with compassion and integrated with spirituality, not as a force to take us away from spirituality, take us away from who we are as soul, and to further program us. So we have to really be clear where we stand on the issues right now. And if you're here on the Medium channel and you haven't clicked off to the next video yet, we're all on the same side here. So we're all together. This is where community comes in. This is part of the strong partnership energy. Now, the other side of that is we cannot hold on to anyone that's not ready to grow. And this has been a theme that's been building and building. I think we are at that apex. If you're holding on to an old relationship that's not working for you, don't. You may suffer some consequences as a result that may affect your health and your energy. So this is all a big spiritual initiation in the collective consciousness. When we have initiation, we change, and those we felt aligned to, we no longer do. It's fun. It's just part of growth. It's part of nature. Old friends go, new friends that match our new frequencies come in. It's all good. So if your partnerships and friendships are not working for you, it's time to cut them loose. It's time to move on, basically. So the fifth thing is a big time for shadow integration work, for completions, for letting go. So we're kind of talking about that. Your shadow work should be an integration process. Shadows are not a bad thing unless they're hidden from you. Well, I guess that's the definition of a shadow, right? Anyway, I think we understand that our shadows can be our greatest teachers. So basically, they're the parts of us, that the subconscious, the programs, the suppressed traumas, all that stuff. That shadows can come from other lifetimes and other people also. When you shine the light of awareness on the shadow, it's no longer shadow. You integrate it into the light. So big, good, very good month of that, especially up until the 21st. What happens on the 21st is the winter solstice. And that's when the sun god, when Ra is reborn on the 21st. So that's when we come back to the light. So take advantage of the darkness right now. The darkness is our friend, because the light came out of the darkness. So that's what I have to say about that. So number 6, it's like I said, be prepared for war. Not that I think we're going to start a war in December, but be prepared. We're not yet there yet, and may still avoid it, but prepare. We'll likely see muscles flexed around the world, leading us to believe that there could be a nuclear threat or even a world war developing. So as a side note, it says, supply lines can continue to break down. War could be used as an excuse to that, as well as other factors. Food shortages, we've been experiencing them. It doesn't seem that bad where I live right now. In fact, shelves look a little bit more full than they did a month or two ago. Good, but December through February, that might change around again. So it's still good to be prepared, just in case the lights go out, just in case the food runs out. All that stuff. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. So I think we're going to see news of that. But again, as we evolve in consciousness, we can still avoid that. So keep that in mind. Number 7 is weather and climate still remain the biggest threat. So know where your shelters are. And I'm feeling the southeast of the U.S., there could be an off-season tropical storm or a lingering storm, lots of flooding. Also Europe, especially Northern Europe, UK, that area, keep an eye out for the weather in December. In fact, I think there may be one of those, I don't know what they call them. They name their storms. Well, the Weather Channel started to name their storms also. So maybe like Storm Desmond or Storm Eric or whatever coming in. But anyway, keep an eye out for that. So number 8 is sighting Hawaii Island. They're having a dual eruption right now. Both Kilauea and Mauna Loa are in an eruption phase. Mauna Loa is the largest mountain in the world if you measure seafloor to the top. Now, Mauna Kea, which is also on the Big Island, is the tallest mountain in the world, but Mauna Loa is the biggest, and it's an active volcano. It's starting to activate. So I think this is just a sign of the geo instability. So more earthquakes, more floods. There could be a tsunami. Remember, I forgot what year it is, but remember the Christmas tsunami. I haven't literally seen that, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. Okay, so keep an eye on that as well. 9, top month to manifest for those not caught in the illusion and who are in the heart frequency. I think that's a repeat. Okay, moving on to 10. Cyber attacks against bank, financial possible. So that's a semi-repeat. So that's number 10. So again, the wars are primarily fought on the cyber battlefields. I think people in cybersecurity are going to be real busy. Number 11, this is one of my favorites. UFO disclosures, increasing activity in space. So I think we're going to see more reports of unexplainable phenomena. I'm feeling a lot of activity with our extraterrestrial helpers and friends and colleagues from other worlds and other dimensions that work with us. So, there may be disclosures. Now, there's a chance that some of this could have a nefarious direction, meaning that this has been kind of slated by a lot of people that channel, a lot of messages that have come through, that one of the plans is to create an extraterrestrial threat in order to further centralize government and power here on Earth. I don't know. I can't say I'm getting that specifically. I think that what's happening on Earth is sort of a process or a reflection of what's going on in other planets that influence the Earth. So not everybody's getting along in the cosmos either. Incidentally, next Tuesday, we have Lily Nova, who's amazing starseed coming on. She's going to, probably talk more about this kind of stuff. So check us out next Tuesday, the 6th of December. So number 12 is watch the Clintons. I had a vivid image just about a week ago of Hillary Clinton, like the last person on the face of this earth that I want to have a vision of. And I don't know if she's going to pass on or get sick, or if there's some scandals around the Clintons. I mean, you might as well watch the Bidens also. That's number 13. Okay, so watch the Clintons. Well, number 13, one or more scandals grab headlines. Systems failures accelerate. Yeah, the government systems, the banking system, the money systems are all laboring. They're all failing. We can see that accelerating this month. So what scandals? Sex trafficking could be one. The elections possibly, whatever way that's going to go. Obviously Donald Trump's and those energies are likely to be very prevalent and very much active also. And there's other possible scandals that can surface. Take your pick. So number 14, I picked new cults, cult type programming. So the thing is, the more you work with the heart, the more resistant you become to subconscious programming. And I say this a lot on the channel. When you're actively in the heart frequencies, you can't be programmed by an outside source, because hearts don't get programmed. The subconscious mind does, not the heart. So the more you work with the heart, the more resistant you become to outside programming. Do it. do it. Okay. So watch. The other side of that is keep an eye on those false prophets, those false spiritual teachers. There's some people that learn a few energy tricks and make others feel like they're in the presence of somebody with high vibration and frequency, because they can manipulate their energy fields. This is another reason to be in your heart. Your heart cannot be fooled, because the heart knows, the heart feels energy. So keep an eye on that. And a lot of these false prophets or whatever, they're either programmed by those entities that want to control everything about this planet, including us, or they're actively working with them. So a lot of these conspiracy theories are orchestrated by the powers that be to have us running around in circles and going into rabbit holes. But a lot of conspiracy theories become conspiracy facts also. So again, the more you're in your heart, you're going to be, the less fooled you're going to be. With Neptune very active in December, a lot of illusions and delusions are likely to happen. So number 15, Fauci, COVID lies, etc. The facade begins to crumble. So interesting on mainstream news now about stories about even a couple of months before the mask mandates came out that there were emails of him stating that the masks really aren't going to work, but we're going to mandate it anyway, basically, and censor social media. And I did a whole live stream about this in the spring. We'll see when it all blows up. But there's also top leading world virologists telling him and those in charge, the WHO also, that it's far more plausible that COVID leaked from a lab. Now, if I said this 6 months ago, I would have been censored. They would have taken this video down, but they won't do that now because it's no longer, we're allowed to say that now. That's how the system works. This is a democracy, or is this a closed system where one entity controls everything? When you start to censor the news and you start to use the media and work the media in a way that controls people's thinking and omitting one side of the argument while promoting another, when you control the thinking of a society, you control that society. Keep that in mind. That's what's going on. So there's a lot of lies around this pandemic. Now, that's not to say that it's not real, just to put that out there. I'm not stating this from the perspective of a COVID denier. I'll put it that way. I mean, I had COVID. I mean, I know it's real. I mean, but was it planned? Was this orchestrated? Was this an accident that was exploited to orchestrate a plan? Whatever, but the evidence is coming out, and this was known, and it was covered up basically, and there's emails that prove it. So we expect to see more coming out with that. I'll just leave it at that. Number 16 was medical breakthroughs, invention. They're already here. More and more people are learning about med beds, celestial chambers, and the device that I saw last December when I was doing the yearly forecast when I had COVID, the second day of COVID, I was on YouTube doing a live stream. The show must go on. I must have been a performer in another life. I don't know. But anyways, it talked about these rods and that they like, and I talked about them being cell regenerators, almost like the tricorders of Star Trek in a way. They can diagnose and they can heal things. And then again, getting back to Lily Nova, her channel's called Lily Nova Starseed. She had his name Tony Rodriguez on, who was actually had been on the spaceships where the government and the extraterrestrials worked together. He was stationed around Jupiter apparently, and he described these things, and I was like, oh my God, that's what they were trying to show me. So that was kind of cool. So we may get more wind of new medical breakthroughs. And number 17 was big spikes in solar activity, central sun activations, extraterrestrial guides more active in working with collective consciousness. Now, the sun has a language. This physical sun is the physical counterpart to the central sun, which is kind of like the spiritual sun or the creator of the universe. And these solar flares and spikes are not random. Like if somebody was to speed up time, like 1 billion years in 10 minutes, you would notice a very discernible pattern that the sun makes, that the solar activities are making. This is a language, and the sun has codes. It has energetic codes. And when we have a solar flare, those energetic codes get released. Now, we also have dormant DNA. We also have dormant codes that are the same as the sun codes. So as these frequencies come through, they can activate our personal and our collective DNA solar code, and start to tap into our superhuman abilities. We can grow new limbs. We can walk through walls. We can heal virtually anything. We can bilocate. In other words, we can be in more than one place at one time, but we have not developed that yet. That's beyond our current state of evolution. So as we start to evolve, more of these codes embedded within us start to awaken, and the sun is the transmitter of that. So look for that also. We'll see what happens. So moving right along, as I say. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. Let me okay. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to show that. So it's really in that. And here's another cool comment. Thank you, Lola. All right. So here's none of this is new. It's kind of things that I always tell you guys. Sorry about that. Usually I have some new exercises to do every month. But well, actually, one is kind of new because they were saying do spiritual work in groups or partners. And now Mars is in the part. Well, actually, Libra is the partnership sign, but Gemini is the duality sign, and it's retrograde, so the energy goes inward. That's part of it. But they were saying to do work to feel energy, and I always tell people, if you just work with your hands and feel the energy between your hands, and they start to vibrate and tingle when I do this. And but you can do this with somebody else. Like, in other words, have somebody's hands down and somebody's up and start to feel the energy that way and start to connect with that way. Many of you are going to discover, if you haven't already, that you're healers, that you have the ability to transmit energy. And what healers do is they create a frequency that allows the person to heal themselves. As a healer, and I have I professionally am a medium, but I do healing also, usually over distances. I've had people, not to boast because it's not me, it's spirit, but I've had people that had cancer that were in hospice, get up in 48 hours and stop eating just after doing an energy transmission and basically, for them, doing a distance healing for them. And what happens is that it taps into their own innate healing abilities. We all have that. So working with healers can help with that. So it's amazing to do, to get a good healer. We have Heather Istara on the channel. She's an amazing healer. And we also had Elaine Malloy on recently that does arch healing, ancient rainbow consciousness healing, and so does Heather for that matter. So we have a lot of really amazing healers. So okay, so that was number one. You're a healer upgrade. Oh, this is kind of new in a way. Number two, they said to dance. Find the rhythm, find the timing, find the flow through music. That's what dancing does. When you get lost in the music and you're moving and you're flowing with the music, you found the flow, you found chi. Once you find the flow, you are linked with the universe, you are linked with spirit, you are linked with consciousness. Even if you don't exercise, now everybody has different physical capabilities. If you're like my back went out. I couldn't do a whole lot of dancing for over a month. But I could dance with my arms. I can move my body, and I can do that, and I can put music on. I can drum. I love drumming and singing. I do a lot of singing also because these things align me with spirit. And one of the ways that I broke through to do my mediumships, I taught myself how to drum and sing at the same time. Well, I started with very simple Beatles song. But once I got that, it was kind of like it just flowed through me. If I thought about what my hands were doing, I'd lose the flow. But if I just stayed in the flow, it all flowed through me. So dancing, okay. Number three, cleanse, purge. Maybe do some fasting this month. I'm going to do some fasting myself. My body feels pretty toxic these days, pretty overloaded. I did a mini day and a half, 2-day fast last weekend also. So cleansing and purging, that can be on a vibrational level or whatever. Number four, let go, clear through the 21st, then reprogram after the 21st. So, and again, shadow work, anything to clear and to let go of energy. Do I have breath work? No, I don't. So let me talk about a little bit of breath work. Oh, I do. That's number 6. Okay. Number 5, work with the heart frequency daily. So I'll link a video on heart brain coherence. I teach that a lot. There's other ways of working with the heart frequency. The idea is if you can hold magnified frequencies of gratitude, compassion, appreciation, then you tap into the master frequency of the heart, and then your brain and heart become in alignment, and then you become in alignment with spirit. So the heart is the portal to the indwelling soul or spirit. And once you tap into that, then anything becomes possible. So this is a really good month to tap into the heart frequency, apparently, according to them. So daily, I recommend Heart Brain Coherence, or I should say Heart Math Institute, and Greg Braden and Joe Dispenza recommend, and me recommend doing Heart Brain Coherence 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes at a time, 3 times a day. And it has huge benefits, and it's freaking changing my life. Like this has been a breakthrough practice for me. I've been doing it about a year and a half now. So number 6 was lots of breath work. Every day, 3 times a day, real simple. Feel the heart open. Feel the heart, as you open your heart, start to blend with the universal heart and become one. Inhale, draw energy from that universal heart into your personal heart. Feel that expanding through your body. Exhale, release any negativity, any stuck energy, any colic back to the universe. 3 minutes at a time, 3 times a day. You do that, you're going to avoid a lot of grief and a lot of emotional suffering. Trust me on this. Do this. It's simple, and do this. And the 7th one, I'm going to link this to, again, to the pinned comment. It's to do the Ascension set that the master teachers gave me. I did that in 3 separate videos. I'm going to link all 3 of them for you. Simple, again, work with your physical capabilities. Nothing's really hard, but some of us are elderly. Some of us, may be in wheelchairs even. You have to modify for your body. It's the intention and really the syncing with the breath and the movement that makes these really powerful. So there's 3 different ones. There's one for the chakras. There's anyway, I'm going to link them. So anyways, how do we do 42 minutes? Yeah, I didn't think we were going to keep to 3 minutes. So let me just see any questions. All right, I'll just pop a couple of comments in here, coming out in times ahead about many things. Introducing more and more confirmation. Thank you. I agree. Yeah. And thank you, Karen. Essential. Yeah, it's power of repetition. We talk about deprogramming. We get programmed through repetition, seeing the same things over and over again through childhood into adulthood. And then we have 65,000 thoughts per day, which are the records of the past. So what do we think about? Whatever we can relate to from the past and the present. The past becomes the present, but our minds are energetic and they're creators of the future. So basically, until you reprogram your mind, and the power of repetition with mantras and affirmations is a great way to do this. You are constantly bringing the past into the present and into the future, basically. And what else from Karen again? That's my wheelhouse. Empowered body. Thank you. Yeah, empowered. There's so many. There's so many things to do. On the 20th, I believe, we got that date sealed. We're gonna have Tammy. Oh God, why can't I remember her last name? We're gonna have Tammy on, who does EFT work and tapping. So she's going to teach us a thing or two about emotional release and emotional freedom technique. All right. Here we go. Oh, good for you. Yeah, I make up my own sleep programs, and when I'm doing my sleep programs, I'm actually feeling it as I'm doing it. So the feelings of success are in my voice. And as I'm falling asleep, I make them for 31 minutes. So as I'm falling asleep, I'm not only hearing the affirmations in my mind and in my subconscious, but I'm feeling the energy and intention behind it. I recommend you do it that way. We're done, Jill. So thank you. We don't have to post that. All right. Anyways, thank you. Empowered body. Yes, thank you. All right, let me take that off, and we're going to end for now. So let's see what's going on. Thursday's upload is, I can't even remember, even though I did it last week. All right, it'll be a surprise since my brain is shutting down right now. Well, I know in 2 weeks I have one about money in 2023 because I just on that. Oh, it's a good one. It's too bad I can't remember what it is. But anyway, it's going to be coming out in 2 days. Not about starseed. What the freak did I do this last video? It was one of the 11 signs vid. Oh, it came back to me about how to 11 facts about your pet's souls, or the souls of pets and animals. So that's the Thursday upload. All right. All right. And we'll just pop in one more comment just to as a thank you for Susan, your training transmission. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's why Spirit obviously got me on here. And for Mary, that's a great point. That's why you have to find your own modality. Music works for me, it may not work for you. Thanks for bringing that up. That's an excellent point. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm signing off for real now. Bye. I love you. Bye.